back.
Oh, how was that poop?
It was great, man. It was very fucking refreshing. Let me tell you, man. I got a load off.
So, bro, Mr. Derringer's, he had a few questions while you're gone.
Yeah.
I tried to about as much as possible, but he was kind of wondering, like, how long has the stream been going on, especially with the EX vs. Gundam Nation, and how that kind of coincides with the podcast. So I think I did an okay job, but you may want to kind of give him some other cliff notes and stuff.
Yeah, I'll give him my perspective, I guess. It would be real quick, because as Neil probably went over a lot of the details.
So, did you get my invite?
I did, and it didn't allow me in. I wanted to, if you don't mind, hit me up with another one in the meantime. How this started was actually the gentlemen that are in the room with me right now kind of helped make that happen. Both Ed the Crimson and the Seraph, they came to visit me over a year ago. Actually, we've been doing this for a little over a year now. I think it started in late October or beginning of November, so I have to run back the dates. But when they came over, they brought regular Extreme Versus with them, and I played it a few times, but I hadn't been enthralled with the game yet. I've been wanting to play it more, but I didn't have a copy of the game. So they brought it over one day, and we played like some rounds, and I actually posted it up on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/GundamMAHQ, the rounds that the three of us had. And I fell in love with the game, and I was telling people, it's like, I asked people if they picked it up or donated it to Shinjuku. I would start doing streams on it, and everybody came through and donated and hooked us up. And when they did, we started the streams for this, and then when I needed Extreme Versus, people donated that as well, and we've been doing that ever since Extreme Versus came out. So that's how we've been. That's how long we've been doing this. How it relates to Gundam at MAHQ. Neo and I have been hosting Gundam since 2007. He and I both started the show. And Chris, our third co-host on the show, he joined us after 3 episodes in, and he runs MAHQ. I know
he ran it into the ground.
Oh Lord, not at all. But
that's cold-blooded, dog.
But what happened with how this ties into that is I've been wanting to play this game for a while. I've been getting into streaming. I recently bought a new computer rig. And I didn't build it. My boy Shoji Ramuro built the computer, and he also picked out all the parts for me that he knew that I needed. So once we got that set up, I've been streaming a lot, and I've been wanting to do a Gundam-related stream for a while that could tie into Gundam. So that's what this is where EX Versus comes in. So a lot of the listeners of Gundam, they come and we talk about the previous episode of Gundam that just released. We talk about the news that's in the Gundam sphere, and other nerd news that's out there. So it's just evolved over the last couple of months, and it's been fun doing it.
You guys do any contests or giveaways?
Oh,
yes, he has.
We had a big giveaway a couple months ago with a bunch of Gunpla. And it was a whole lot of fun. Oh, someone's feedback. Oh, Phoenix. Everything all right on your end, sir?
What?
There's like a big static burst.
Yeah, your mic fed back for a second.
It's like a static shock, mister.
Oh shit! Can I get in?
I'm standing by the microwave.
Oh shit!
Are you planning to do another giveaway or contest in the near future?
Once we are gifted with gifts to give away, absolutely. But we don't have any sponsors as of yet. That definitely helps.
Would you like to be sponsored?
I would love to be sponsored.
Well, I dare say so. You are coming on strong.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a couple angles, but nothing in cement yet. But any leads that I could go on in order to get sponsorship at all?
Yeah. So actually, my name is Xavier Lim. I'm in charge of marketing at Bluefin Distribution.
Oh, wow.
We're the ones that are bringing the Gundam model kits into the U.S. since the mid-2000s.
Oh my, okay.
Yeah, I'm just, like I said earlier when I first joined the chat, like I usually just go on these things just to sort of chill out, watch some stuff happening on the stream, listen to fans, the other thing. Because I am also a Gundam fan, besides my job being primarily Gundam. So I do like kicking back and just, checking things out. But I noticed that, this stream had been showing up quite a bit on my Twitter feed recently in the last several months. So I just wanted to check into it a little bit, see what the sort of Gundam fans in the English-speaking world are chatting about what's going on in their heads.
Well, I'm glad you made it on tonight. If you have any questions you want to ask our listenership or our viewership, man, feel free. Before I open up the mic to you, let me go ahead and fellas, I've tried to join both Fred's room and Almar's room. I can't get in, so I'm just going to start another room, and people can just fall in at will. Derringer, feel free. What will be one of the things you'd like to inquire about? Pretty much our viewer base.
You know, like, I don't know if you have any sort of statistics on this, but like, you have a listenership or number of hits or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do have that stuff, and just we could provide that to you. I mean, if you wanted to, like, maybe do an off cycle like call or just like an email thing, we could provide you that information, because we do have we do the hosting through Libsyn, and it provides a lot of
the stats
and stuff. And our co-host Chris is the forum head forum guy of MHQ.
He's the webmaster, and
he's a webmaster, so he would have a lot of the information when it comes to MHQ, and so the two things kind of coincide. Everything's kind of symbiotic of each other, so we could provide you a lot of that information. If you want, I think probably the best thing is I can give you my email again if you want, and we can give you Soulbros too if you want to just email us what you're kind of looking for. We could probably provide that to you, because we're able to. Libsyn provides ways to download in Excel and things like that, so we could get you all that information. But I know from what we get from our fans right now, there's just a lot of excitement, mainly because of the 2 new shows going on. There's a lot with this game. Soulbro could probably do that more than I could.
Oh yeah.
And the fact
of us are actually getting hyped for Gundam Breaker 2, which comes out in December.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So,
we're actually putting together a donation thing to get Soulbro a copy for Christmas,
so that we can start streaming that as well.
And
How
I
many
know
of these games are actually available in the US?
None. The only one is the
I see.
Dynasty Warriors games, and I've been meaning to get my hands on the Dynasty Warriors game so I can go through it, the latest one. But that's really the only officially released Gundam game that come out in the last couple of years, or that series, I should say. And the latest one came out digitally instead of being printed, so that just goes to show how little, I guess, it's selling.
But the process to get this game specifically isn't that hard to do.
Yeah.
what was that?
The localization thing, I don't want to speak for Bandai Namco, that's a different company, but I know they don't have access to our data for model kit sales. But I remember there was a recent interview where they were mentioning that in the US, kind of it's really a big thing, model kit wise, but that's not actually true anymore.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Hey Xavier, get Blueprint to distribute Extreme Versus. I know you can do it. I believe in you, buddy.
We're not a video game distributor.
I believe in you.
Actually, that was the unfortunate thing was, Bandai Namco's got this new game they're doing called Rise of the Incarnates, which is kind of...
Oh, God.
It's Gundam Extreme Versus with the Gundam license filed off. And,
Really?
a bunch of people, including ourselves, were trying to get Bandai's attention and say, please release this game in America because we love it, and, Western Gundam fans need a little love too. And the response Bandai gave is basically, we don't know if this 2-on-2 arena fighter thing would work out in the West, but if Rise of the Incarnates does well enough, we'll look into bringing Gundam over.
Oh, of course. The same thing they
I
always
was
do.
like
Bingo.
at Comic-Con, Bandai Namco actually had a booth, and I was gonna try to see if I could get some answers, see if we can provide kind of visual evidence that there
It's
is.
too bad. I know there
We're
are
here, we
Bandai
do
Namco
things with
employees
this
that
game.
have Gundam model kits. They're big Gundam fans, so
Yeah,
it must be
but,
people who are higher up at the top that are saying no.
Yeah, and at the booth, it was just a bunch of people who were like, I don't want to be here right now. I just sell video games. Don't ask me questions, kind of thing.
Well, I do know with Bandai and Sunrise, when it comes to some of their stuff, they can get a little
we know. We
a
talked
little
about
tough. Yeah, because I spoke with at Anime Expo, I spoke with Ed Chavez, because we've interviewed him on the show, and he's part of Vertical, who's doing the Gundam the Origin thing, and he was saying like how Gundam the Origin, when it first came out, Sunrise and Bandai was very hands off, but as it got more popular, then they started getting a little bit more in there, and you know they were trying to kind of push their weight around when it came to certain decisions and things like that. So yeah, I think sometimes it's just the cultural divide when it comes to, you know, how things are done within the two countries.
I think it's less cultural and more of how business is conducted in Japan and other parts of Asia.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. More business culture.
There's a lot of approval process. For us, for our events, mall contest, any sort of things we do at these conventions, all sort of any Gundam-related promotion imagery have to be approved first by our Bandai hobby contacts and then by Sunrise. It's this weird cycle that it can take up to like a month or more, which means our planning for events is really planned so far ahead in advance that it's mind-boggling. Like we already have plans for next year's New York Comic Con, for example. That's a year away, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's what I meant when I meant cultural. But the other thing was, and that's exactly what Ed was telling me when it came to just the approval when it came to the covers of the different volumes, because he was saying originally they only wanted certain people on the covers, and then as it got popular and some other things, they were relenting on some things, and then other times they were kind of steadfast on what they wanted on that particular cover. So yeah, and it's so much in advance, it's kind of weird. So
yeah, I know. So I know Right Stuff is putting out the first couple of Gundam titles. I actually know which one it's coming out first, but I'm not supposed to say anything. They're also having some issues with approvals and getting materials, so everyone's having the same problem with Sunrise, which is that we can't get our shit in a timely manner.
and that's always been, I guess, the thing that we've always heard is just that approval process and the way, you know, like I said, the different cultures when it comes to business cultures. In the U.S., we do it one way, and in Japan, they have a little bit more layered, you know, plan there. So, yeah. But I think from, you know, we've been doing the show for like 7 years now, and
podcast has been running for 7 years.
Podcast going on for 7 years. It's very established. Yeah, it's been going strong for 7 years, and continuing to, you know, gain listenership and stuff like that. But the thing that we've noticed, and Sobro, I'm sure you could probably weigh in on this. I think there's a lot more excitement in the last like year and a half or so. Not only because you have the Origin coming out as a manga here in the U.S., you have the 2 shows going on, then you have all these other announcements going on. And I know with a lot of the models showing up at like Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that, that's been a big thing. And there's just been a lot of chat in these games too. There's been a lot of chatter with all this stuff.
Bill Fighters has done a lot to inject life into model building in general too. It's just to hear the chatter on Build Fighters has been pretty amazing. People who have never watched the Gundam series will tune into that, and then they jump into model building because it's just made it appealing to jump into that. So I'm sure that's been moving a lot of merchandise as a result. But yeah, Build Fighters I would definitely attribute that in the last year to being that shot in the arm that Gundam fandom is needed. And I'm glad it's been made available to a lot of people to watch on YouTube and whatnot too. So I don't know if you've seen a correlation between.
Yeah, we've seen a huge correlation. I can't exactly reveal any.
Oh no, I wouldn't dare.
It's quite a large, noticeable jump.
Nice.
It's something that can't exactly be ignored.
And
speaking of Barnes and Noble, as you mentioned, Dio, like, is there one near you that you've seen the displays and merchandise at?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw one I live, like I said, I live in Huntington, and you've heard of Bellaterra off the 405. It's like that Barnes and Noble. I don't go in there often. I'm really busy a lot, so but I was in there probably 3 months ago and saw a couple of kits in there.
Did they have a display of completed models in there, or was it just selling it?
It was just selling it, and it was by the actual because they had Gundam the Origin there too.
Yeah.
They kind of had them merchandise together.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
The one near me.
It's a big one. It's a real big one, but I didn't see them actually as the completed models. So.
Hey Fred, what were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say the one near me just has a couple of model kits. Some of the Build Fighters Master Grade and the Master Grade Wing Zero, and that's the only ones that actually are in my area.
So
There's no like figure arts or anything in my area. Maybe because it's small, but
Yeah, the one that's a couple miles from my aunt's house in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. They've got a few of the high grades and the master grades. For a while, they had some of the little what are they called? The
Candy toy.
Yeah, the candy toy, the random figures.
Yeah.
And it's on its dedicated display. It's over with the things like the Lego construction sets where you can build things like the Guggenheim.
Right.
Or the metal construction kits, that sort of thing. And there aren't any pre-built displays there either. I haven't had the chance checking back home in Georgia because the Barnes & Nobles in my area have all been drying up. It's depressing.
I think though, if there was some displays, I think there would be a little bit more onto that because a lot of the other stuff, like I said, the one by where I live is a huge Barnes and Noble, and a lot of the toys and stuff that they have there, they do have displays, but like I said, I didn't see it on this particular aspect, and I don't know. Are there displays available for them to put up or something?
No, there should be this. The reason I was asking was because I know not all the Barnes and Noble stores have the displays of the built samples models, but a lot of them do, and I'm just sort of trying to figure out which ones I need to check on to see which needs to be built still. The program out there for Barnes & Noble, there's about 400 stores that are participating in this that should have some sort of display of built Gundam models for people to look at in addition to being able to purchase. But it's not everywhere, I know. Just still trying to get distributed, and it's something that's going to be worked on a bit more for 2015. But it's sort of a start. In Japan, like Yodobashi Camera, for example, is an electronics store that happens to sell a lot of like other stuff, and that other stuff happens to be stuff like collector's action figures, the Gundam model kits, and other stuff. And so we've seen as we're trying to do something similar to that with some of these other chain stores that are noticeable but are not Target, are not Toys R Us, are not Walmart, etc. Because the merchandise, Gundam models and these other Japanese collectibles, they really don't belong in mass market retailers, mostly because of the pricing policies and also how a lot of the items end up getting clearanced. They don't want the items getting clearanced, which is why these stores fall.
I'd agree with that too. I think with the models, it would make a lot more sense for that to be that way. And I know when I spoke with Ed when it came to the Gundam the Origin sales, he was telling me that a lot of the sales were coming from Barnes & Noble.
Somebody got a fan on?
Yeah, somebody needs to do something with their mic or something.
Hey, so bro. I think you got a fan or something going on in the background there.
Going on in the mic,
so?
yeah.
Either that or he's playing in a wind tunnel.
How does it sound now?
Much better.
Much better.
We're not wind
sorry
tunnel,
about
sir.
Sorry about that. Holy shit.
Continue on.
But
I do apologize. There's a train coming by my place of residence.
Can't really hear it from where I am.
Put your mic on mute then. But they were. That's what he was saying. A lot of their orders were coming from the Barnes & Noble online store for Gundam the Origin. So I think that'd probably be a good thing for you guys too. And,
well, Barnes & Noble is carrying them online. Also, they are actually going to be getting more and more kits this year as well. So that selection is going to expand quite a bit. Let's see.
Because when I spoke with him at Anime Expo, he was telling me that I guess their real jump with the book came out during the holiday season, and that's when he was saying. That's when he was mentioning to me about Barnes & Noble. I was like, well, was it Amazon? Because a lot of it was being purchased off of Amazon, and he's like, no, we were getting a ton off of Barnes & Noble. I was like, oh wow, okay. And then he also segued into they are carrying models, and so yeah,
they're sort of they're the models and the Origin they're sort of playing off each other right now.
Yeah,
which is really good.
Well, if you could tell us about Bluefin, since I'm back on the stream, tell us about Bluefin as a company and what you guys have been doing with Gundam merchandise.
So Bluefin it's a distributor. So we serve as the intermediary between manufacturers and retailers. So we supply retailers wholesale product that they use to sell to you, the consumer. Bluefin was founded in 2002. Started off by distributing these like RC cars from Tomitakura. They're like the Bit Charge series, and other Japanese hobby items like cars, motorcycle kits. Bluefin started doing the Gundam model kits when the hobby shop started asking Bluefin to source it out, and eventually the sourcing out of it got. The orders from Japan were significant enough that Bandai took notice and approached Bluefin if they wanted to officially distribute on their behalf in the US. That's what happened in sort of the mid-2000s. In 2010 is when I joined. We started partnering with another division of Bandai called Tamashii Nations.
Yes.
This is the division that releases the SH Figure Arts, the Soul of Cherokee, Robot Danashiro Experience, all those action figure lines from Bandai. That's what that division does. Yeah, Monster Arts as well.
Red's a resident Godzilla fan.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah, I know, Fred.
He knows.
We were talking, you're really big on Godzilla.
Fred convinced me to buy one of those expensive ass figures. Thanks, Fred.
More than one.
No, I just got one Negro.
Oh no! Oh, that's just the start, and then there's running and then screaming.
No, that is the alpha and omega to that one. No, sir.
Yeah, and
Man,
so right now
Bandai
Bluefin is the exclusive distributor for the US for 4 Bandai departments now. So these are all the Japanese Bandai departments, not Bandai of America. So this is all the original stuff, like all the because Bandai's original status as a company before it merged with Namco was a toy manufacturer. So this is all the divisions of that Bandai manufacturer in Japan.
Is it still Bamco though, or
So the way so Namco Bandai is a giant conglomerate that's composed of the merger between Bandai and its subsidiaries and Namco, which is the video game publisher. They are one, and the chief executive officer, the president, Mr. Ueno, is in charge of the entire thing. But within Namco Bandai, everyone sort of retains their own individuality. So you have the Japanese Bandai, you have Bandai Europe, you have Bandai of America, you have Sunrise, Namco itself. They're all they're all separate. They all do their own thing. There's sort of little communication unless it's absolutely necessary. We deal business with quite a few of those within Namco Bandai, specifically the Bandai manufacturer. But we're also doing things with Sunrise and some of the other members of the Bandai family.
That's good, that makes me a little bit happy.
It's nice to know how that part of the industry works as well. How long have you been working for the company?
I mentioned I joined in 2010. I just approached them when they were at Anime Expo. I was like, "Hi, I'm looking for a job." Oh, okay.
Well, that works.
Yeah, I was totally surprised. was like, oh,
It's
okay.
strange how often that works for some people.
Yeah, you know what? That's very true. The
Yeah, I
direct
started
approach is sometimes the best approach. That's for sure.
Yeah, I started off part-time. I got full-time for a little bit, then I took a break for a few years, and I came back again this year, ready to wrap up Gundam as it approaches its 35th. So there's 35th for the actual series. Next year is the 35th for the Gundam models. So there's actually a lot of cool stuff coming out next year. Actually, I don't know if Fred knows about them, but I don't know. There's some cool that people have been wanting out next year.
Yeah.
All I asked for is SH Monsters Dead Jaguar. So.
Well, that's about
Why do you
Jaguar,
want
huh?
Jet Jaguar?
That's the shot.
No, that's Ultraman, you
Jaguar,
goof.
man.
I got it.
Well, I'll give you guys one
Bandai's-
caveat since we're all being chatty tonight. The Double X is coming for the Master Grade format.
Cognium, you hear that, man? Your suit's coming out.
Yo, Cognium.
A couple of what's now?
The double X.
Ooh.
That's
And
my
only
first
question.
question.
My only question is, it going to come with all those stupid extra weapons from the old 100 scale model?
I really doubt that. Also, the information that I usually get is just like text on an Excel file line. So like, it's
Like-
the most. What is it? What word am I using to describe this? The most. What do you call a situation where it's supposed to be really big, but it comes off as really low key?
Oh, a random
Sleeper
silver.
hit? No.
Anticlimactic.
Yes, it's anticlimactic way to get
Anticlimactic.
information.
Yeah.
A little Excel file that has names.
Hey, XF files can be cool. I deal with them every day.
Neo. He accounts. he's in the
I
business of
don't
crunching
know.
numbers. So yeah.
Fordar, keep hoping and dreaming. He says, apparently the thing that would make the chat explode, Master Grade Leo.
Master Grade Leo.
Oh,
Yo,
dude, I would buy like 8 of those just to
Hey,
have them.
speaking
Well,
of model
blueprint
kits,
to go out
hey
of
Darren, or Xavier, tell him about the model kit thingy maboober. You know,
The model kit thingy
you know
maboober?
the contest.
Fred,
Yes.
what's a thingy maboober?
Shut your mouth.
You're talking about the one that's here, right?
Yes,
Yes.
What the hell?
it was at
Actually,
the one that was at
Southern
Comic Con.
California. So there's a group of Gundam modelers that have been sort of trying to do their own grassroots movement for the past several years called Those Gundam Guys. They're having a Gundam
Actually
model
heard of those.
contest event next week.
Well, you heard of
it's over
Those
here in
Gundam
Southern
Guys?
California, Fullerton area next week. November 15th. So it's an opportunity for other people who are interested in Gunpla to get together, meet some people who have done a lot of Gundam model kits or learn some new techniques. Sit and chat. I'll be there as well. We're having a lot of prizes and raffles for people who want to show up. You don't need to enter a model to participate in the raffle for prizes, but hey, there's a cool unicorn themed contest for that day. If you have a Gundam type mecha design from Gundam Unicorn that's a grunt unit, we're doing a special little contest for that. Come
But,
check it out if you can.
Where in Fullerton is that going to happen? Because the 15th, it's Saturday, right?